Have you ever wondered, why do some women become emotionally scarred by certain men, even if they don't say a word? What will they do? Or rather, where they play? What creates this intense and mysterious connection? If you've ever felt like you were doing everything right, and yet she walked away, perhaps you haven't yet discovered the 7 secrets hidden in the female body that activate deep psychological triggers, and that only 1% of men truly master. In this video, you will enter the most silent, subtle, and powerful universe of female psychology applied to attraction and relationships. Here, we are not talking about ready-made phrases or superficial games. We are talking about decode her body signals, understanding what is behind every reaction, every shiver, every look that she avoids or holds for too long. The truth is one, she will never tell you this, and no manual will clearly show you the points on the female body that, when touched with emotional and strategic intention, create something much stronger than physical desire. They create bond, create memory, create silent obsession, and the most dangerous? She herself will not understand why she is thinking about you. You will understand today how female body language carries messages that ordinary men ignore, but that intelligent men use to their advantage. These are zones of psychological stimulation that, when activated in the right way, release trust, surrender, and deep emotional connection. And the best part, all this can happen without her consciously realizing what you are doing. This is not magic. This is applied emotional neuroscience. It's feminine psychology without a filter, straight to the point, bluntly, without censorship. And if you're here, it's because you know that there is something deeper in her behavior, something you haven't yet been taught to see, something that is about to be revealed. Now, get ready, because the first secret will dismantle everything you thought you knew about touch, desire, and female perception. And before revealing the first point that activates her most emotional and hidden side, I want to propose something that few men have the courage to do. Strategically declare yourself, here and now. Not with empty words, but with a real commitment that you will play at another level from today onwards. A level where the achievement is intelligent, emotional, and subtle. If you're feeling like this content was made for you, then prove that you're part of that minority of men who think differently. Write in the comments now, "I'm the kind of man who leaves emotional marks," or "My presence will echo in her mind." These phrases are not just words, they are declarations of belonging. Here, you are not alone. This channel is a space where men who believe in the strength of applied female psychology come together to evolve, stand out, and become impossible to ignore. And if you want to continue receiving content that delivers to you mental and emotional keys that she will never confess, leave a like on this video now. This shows YouTube that this type of knowledge needs to reach more men like you. Take advantage and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a click away. It's a real step towards emotional control, strategic achievement, and even changing your perceived value, including financial. Because a man who understands the emotional game attracts more than desire, it attracts power. Now, let's go to the first secret. And it starts with something that she herself doesn't understand, but that her body begs for you to discover. She will never tell you this, but her body hides 7 secrets that, if you know how to use them with emotional and strategic intention, she will never be able to forget you. There is a place in her body that, when you understand, she never ignores you again. This is no exaggeration. This is female psychology applied to real attraction, and you are about to delve into this universe. Most men spend their entire lives trying to win over a woman with force, insistence, or empty words. But the 1% who master these codes, they don't talk much. They feel, perceive, and act at the exact moment. The female body is an emotional map. Every point you touch in the right way activates a response that she herself doesn't understand. It's the kind of touch that not only provokes physical desire, but opens emotional windows, which awaken memories, insecurities, fantasies, and, above all, attachment. She won't say, "I liked it," but she will think about you at night. And this kind of silent presence begins here, in understanding her body as a direct reflection of the mind and emotion she experiences. The psychology of female relationships reveals that touches with intention create an emotional association. And this association is what transforms a simple gesture into an emotional bond. You could be the man she only knew, or the man she could never forget. The choice is in the details you apply. And that's exactly why, in this video, you're learning something that most people will never have access to. The secrets of the female body that provoke deep bonds. Now, if you feel that this content is for you, if you understand that this emotional knowledge is what separates the ordinary from the unforgettable, then it shows that you are part of those who think differently. Comment below now, "She will remember me without knowing why," or "I touch her mind through her body." Write and confirm that you belong to this community that understands the power of unfiltered female psychology. If you've ever felt like she walked away just when she seemed closer, more surrendered, then you're in the right place, because today you will understand why this happened, and most importantly, how to turn this game around using just the right touch at the exact moment. A touch that doesn't have to be direct or sexual, but emotional, calculated, quietly powerful. A touch that speaks to her mind before it even speaks to her body. And this is what men who have mastered female psychology applied to attraction really understand. It's not about what you do on impulse, but about the intention she feels in what you do. I remember a guy who came to me saying she was opening up. It even seemed like she was surrendered, comfortable, and suddenly she disappeared. Did I touch where I shouldn't have? And the answer was clear, yes, but not in the physical sense he thought. His mistake was touching without reading the signs, without understanding the emotional moment she was experiencing inside. He didn't know that her body responds first to emotion, then to desire. And that's where most people fail. You need to understand psychological timing, not just the sequence of gestures. When you touch without mapping her emotional state, you set off the defensive alarm instead of opening the door to surrender. She doesn't run away because you were intense. She runs away because you were blind. You didn't read the signs, and her body, which could have been a connection channel, became a shield. But that could change, and it will change if you stay here with me until the end of this video. Because the next few minutes will reveal to you, with precision, what few men know: how to turn touch into a weapon of emotional seduction. It's not about squeezing, grabbing, or dominating. It's about generating memory. It's about entering her sensory memory in a way that even she can't explain. If you have already experienced this, comment below, "I will never play by accident again," or "My touch will speak to her soul." This way, you commit to the transformation and connect with other men who are also ready to play at another level. Now that you have begun to understand the importance of the intention behind each gesture, you are ready to access the first 3 secrets of the female body that awaken immediate and deep emotional responses. These are not ordinary points of physical arousal. They are emotional zones that, when touched in the right way, trigger memories, hidden desires, and feelings of belonging. And most importantly, when you understand this, her body begins to associate your presence with a rare kind of connection that most men will never be able to elicit. The first secret is the point of emotional expectation. It is located behind the ear, a region extremely sensitive to light touch, and above all, to the meaning behind that touch. It's not about simply pulling over. It's about conveying a silent message. When you approach with emotional intention and slowly slide your fingers into that area, her body reacts with anticipation. It's as if the brain activates an internal alert that says, something different is about to happen. Her mind goes into a state of expectation, and this creates an irresistible psychological tension. Remember, it's not the touch. It's what she feels that touch means. The second secret is the point of emotional control. It is in the palms of the hands and on the wrist. This zone is directly connected to trust and surrender. When you gently hold her wrist, without force, just with controlled firmness, you convey presence. The unconscious message her body receives is, "I'm in control, but I don't force you. I'm here, you can trust." This simple gesture has devastating power when applied at the right time, because it makes her lower her emotional guard without realizing it. And in that instant, what you represent to her changes completely. The third point is emotional vulnerability. It is located in the lower back, right in the curve of the lumbar spine. When you touch this point calmly, conveying security and subtle dominance, she feels protected. Feminine psychology is deeply sensitive to gestures that awaken physical security combined with emotional magnetism. This touch says, "I won't hurt you, but I won't let you get away either." It's the perfect balance between strength and care. And that's very rare. If you already understand that her body is the language of emotion that she doesn't verbalize, comment here, "I awaken what she doesn't know how to say," or "My touch is psychological, not just physical." These words strengthen your presence and show that you are part of the men who are going above and beyond. Now this is where everything really starts to change. By now you have understood how to touch the points that create expectation, surrender, and vulnerability. But what comes next are the deeper secrets, the ones that not only cause attraction, but install you in her mind in an emotional, selective, and almost irrational way. These are the so-called prohibited activation points because they act directly on the female subconscious. They don't just generate sensation, they create memories. And the most powerful, she can't explain why she started thinking about you so much. The fourth secret is the silent hypnosis zone, one of the most ignored and at the same time most sensitive places is the inner part of the arm, right between the wrist and the elbow. When you lightly touch it, with your palm facing it and without rushing, you activate a type of almost invisible emotional trigger. Her body feels it, but her mind doesn't understand. It's as if something was installed without permission. The subliminal message she picks up is, "With him, I don't need to defend myself." And when a woman feels this, she starts to lower her emotional barriers without even realizing it. The fifth secret is the point of rational collapse. Here it's not about where you play, but as you combine touch with look. Imagine the following scene. You are close, talking quietly, and you lightly touch the side of her neck or the top of her hand while maintaining a firm but calm gaze. This disarms whatever logic she is trying to maintain. Her rational mind stops working for a few seconds. At that moment, you are no longer just a man in front of her. You become presence, impact, and her body reacts with a slight shiver, even if she tries to hide it. The sixth secret is the trigger point of effective memories. Here, the secret is in emotional synchrony. If you know something she likes, a song, a scent, a place, and you touch a subtle spot, like her shoulder or waist, in the moment that memory is vivid, you create an anchor. Every time she feels that way again, she will remember you. And that is pure power. The seventh secret is the most delicate and, at the same time, the most selective, the point of activation of selective desire. It's the legs, but not just like that. The touch here needs to be emotional, surrounded by a context of safety and emotional tension. It could be during a conversation where she is vulnerable, and you briefly run your hand over her knee. The message conveyed is not vulgar desire, but something deeper. You can surrender, and I am here. When done like this, she doesn't think about running away. She thinks about staying. Now, if you feel that what you are learning here it's not common, because it really isn't, comment below. I want to be her thoughts before bed. Or, I learned to play with emotional intention. This way you reinforce that you are on this strategic and emotional path with us. These 7 secrets you just learned aren't just about her body. In fact, they never were. Every point, every touch, every gesture you learned here is a direct bridge to the female mind, the one that operates in silence, guided by emotions, memories, sensations, and meanings that she herself does not fully understand. When you touch in the right way, it's not the skin that responds, it's the emotional part of it. And that, my brother, is what differentiates the common man from the unforgettable man. The first tries to conquer by force, by appearance, by excess. The second conquers with precision, with intention, with applied psychology. He plays little, but he plays deep. He doesn't need to insist, because she feels it. And when she feels it, she gets involved, even against reason. Now that you have access to this key, the game changes. She won't remember you because of the words you said, but because of the feeling you caused without having to say anything. This is how the silent bond, the emotional attachment, the unexpected memory is born. It's when she's far away, living her routine, and out of nowhere, she thinks about you. Not because you said something incredible, but because you awakened something in her that stayed. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next part. The psychological technique that makes her body seek you out, even when you're not around. An emotional pattern strategically installed, which transforms absence into emotional presence. If you feel like this video was made especially for you, it's because you're ready to take the next step. And maybe, completely change the way women see you. And even more so, the way they see you, feel you. Comment below, I'm going to be the man she doesn't forget. Or, she will think about me when she doesn't even know why. This proves that you are not just watching, you are applying, evolving, becoming part of a rare group. Men who use feminine psychology in an emotional, strategic, and truthful way.